I'm Cam Marvel. I'm a career navigator with San Jacinto College Adult Education and Literacy Programs. My last name is Marvel, and I get probably 2 to 3 times a day, every interaction I have with somebody new, they're going to make sure that they tell me, oh, from the Marvel movies, that's an awesome last name. One of the instructors that I used to work with valued some of the social work I was doing with the students, wrote a poem about me. It's actually called Mr. Marvelous. And so I've been branded in my previous world, in the K-12 space, they call me Mr. Marvelous sometimes. I was offered the position early January. My first day was February 3rd. It was a whirlwind. I went from my entire world shifting in a matter of 3 days from what my expectation was. And I do believe this is an old statement that the root of all conflict is expectation. They were starting to cancel everything, starting to close things down. We got in here, an email came out. Monday, Denise rallied us and said, by the way, by the following Monday, we have to be ready to convert our entire program, every community site, every one of the 18 classes, to a virtual site. The team rallied together. Denise said, guys, do your job. I need to focus on building new SOPs. I need to focus on getting everyone ready. I need to focus on building new classes. We have to vet software. I will say that amazingly enough, the next Monday it came. It was not without struggles because students were using cell phones, didn't have the network connections they needed, had never used a Zoom meeting before, which most of us had maybe been in 1 or 2. Within 3 to 4 weeks, the numbers that we saw, 64% of all students who went from live face-to-face classes had converted to digital format. When we intake students, some of them are not really certain the career paths they want to go to, and we're looking for a career pathway, not just an instant reaction. So the college has provided some resources. Career to Focus is a college pathway opportunity for the students to kind of do a study, get a report. We like to show them what high demand careers are, because one of the things a lot of folks are not paying attention to is, I want to go be this, but there's just not jobs in that field. And so we start seeing the Texas Workforce Board information, TWC, the Texas Workforce Commission has a lot of information on their site that helps us connect and offer them the resources that they've offered. My goal is to plant the first seed, is to ensure that they have a pathway that's not going to be terminal. Now, data is showing that all careers require a level of digital literacy, and I feel like that's one of the main things that we're helping them with. How do I go claim my account? How do I go access an email account? So we're teaching those skills, and those right now, maybe in a different time, pre-COVID, wouldn't have been as critical, but that is a mandate for our students today. So one thing I like to do is I like to share with folks, here's your earning potential. Those middle skill positions are the highest paying jobs. They're easier to attain versus committing yourself to 5 to 8 years for a terminal degree to ensure that you're going to make $60,000, $80,000 a year. You can go get those certifications right now. So what I like to do is present them with the data and say, here's where you can be in this timeline. They need that seed planted to say, I achieved something. I got this credential and now I can go do this. It was difficult, but achievable, and then we've created a growth mindset. Now it's time for the next credential, and so if, for example, if somebody wants to get a simple construction NCCR certification, get a job in a chemical plant or with a construction company, and start to observe the other careers that are going on around them, building those relationships, building that network, and saying, man, that guy does that. How much do you make? Coming back to San Jacinto College and saying, that's what I want. So before the students even get to walk through the threshold, they've had to go through rigorous testing and enrollment processes, which can be scary enough. And then we're consistently building the resilience through a 5-day bridge course. So the students are having to practice some of the skills they're going to need, logging into a learning management system, accessing information, operating in a virtual world. Those are the supports that we're going to scaffold on those once they start the actual workforce course. During the time as well is accessibility. Our thought is to be comprehensively available to the students any day, any night. I think the most important thing a career navigator would need is to really understand the college systems. The students want me to be the expert. What do I do, Mr. Marvel? They want a simple answer for the next step. And if I don't have those answers to give to them at that moment in time, it can harm them over time. They can become less confident and maybe even their resilience starts to fade. Now, the win for the institution is when the students actually achieve the credential. This is a traditionally underserved population who would not have been college ready. The Career Navigator can increase the wins for the institution by building strong relationships with industry partners, expanding those opportunities, ensuring that once the students have finished their certification, their classes, that there's an opportunity for them on the other side. Simultaneously, the win for the students is that we ensure that they are employable and that the reputation of the program that goes, when it goes out there, that they're going to speak highly for the institution and say, yes, you need to go here. This has created a great playbook going forward. We have a model for working remotely and digitally and being very mobile and agile. Simultaneously, we have the face-to-face contact that I do believe is going to be achieved. Now we can build relationships digitally. As we transitioned into this new work style, we had this anticipation that within a couple of months we'd master it. I almost thought this is going to be a way for us to increase previous numbers because the automation is going to make it where we can be in so many places at one time. The reality set in. It takes so many different systems now just to get the students enrolled. It's not the same barriers as far as testing. Sometimes there's barriers or limitations that have been placed on by the cost have been astronomical. Then some of the other barriers that occurred was, my goodness, at the same time, all of their students are using all of their digital resources in the home. When we need a Zoom meeting, I can only be on a phone because the one laptop we have in our home is not being used. Oh, the internet's down, I'm sorry, I can't be on the call because I'm taking internet from my child who has to go to school. It's actually taking more time. We're less efficient, but we're continuing to strive. Each time we've had 5 intakes now, to my count, that have been virtual. Each one we've gotten better. But one thing I've learned is there's probably going to be another barrier there. We're just going to have to be a lot more agile, which I feel like we've been proactive. We just have to continue that model.